going to your first deployment with the SIF team under Shrek McPhee in Baghdad.
That's right. Yep. We first went to Al-Assad, and we're there with the SEALs, and we're logistically constrained with the amount of air that we had. Number of targets in this time period were plentiful, and everybody fighting, doing a vehicle assault was very difficult from that spot. So we relocated a few weeks later from Al-Assad into Baghdad, and we're in the green zone, kind of on the row of the Joint Special Operation Command houses. And once we tied in with them, it went from 2-3 targets a week to like 10 targets a night.
So what year is this?
This is 2005, 2006.
Oh, I was there then. So we're there at the same time. So
everybody's there.
Yeah. So what I want to get at is Baghdad at that time was like the Wild West.
100%.
You're hearing car bombs all the time. You're hearing gunshots all throughout the day. It becomes very real. The smell, everything. Yeah. It's there. And
you'd hear at night when it's quiet, you could hear 5 or 6 different units in gunfights. And like, is that us? No, that's not us. Who is that? Are they good? And like, we're sharing QRFs, and QRFs is running to you guys to provide support. And then another QRF is coming to us. It's madness. The whole entire city, Zarqawi's peak power right now. All of his lieutenants are in hammer mode. Al-Qaeda is for the sole purpose of destroying and killing as many Americans that are on their soil as they can, and to destabilize the new Iraqi government that we were trying to put into place. So like this, it was a very volatile peak war. This is war.
Yeah. Yeah. Did it start to set in at all? Hearing that, seeing it?
It was, we never got this deployment in comparison to my next deployment to Afghanistan could not have been more dissimilar. I'm part of an elite unit that's part of an elite joint special operations task force that is part of an elite coordinated strategic mission. That is a very different thing than you being in Afghanistan as a special forces sniper advisor to NATO allies. Like, could not be further apart. We were the hammer every night. If somebody from this task force is showing up at a door, if you shot from that house, everybody dies. If you're on target, you're going to get bit. You're going to get this battlefield interrogation that's pretty intense. The tactical questioning as we're finding follow-on targets, as we're continuing to build out this target set. Americans are hanging from bridges after they've been burnt alive and dragged through the street. That's this era of war. This is, Blackwater dudes being tortured, football players being kidnapped and tortured, having anybody that was working for the American government, Zarqawi's having his henchmen, they'd drill their hands to the wall, they'd cut off their eyelids, and then they'd rape their family in front of them before they killed them. And you'd walk in, you'd find this raped and murdered family with this dude's hands drilled to the wall. Like, this is fucking peak war.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
You walked in on that.
We found every kind of imaginable horror that terrorists do to civilians. We found.
Let's rewind. I want to go right into that. First time you saw that, what is the op? Just everything from the insertion to walking in that room.
Yeah. It's funny, full circle. I was in Israel just this recent October, and we're in some of the kibbutzes adjacent to Gaza, and seeing the same things that I saw back 18, 17 years earlier in Iraq. The inhumane, barbaric things that these radical extremists do are just inhuman. And I think that's the point, is they want to show that anybody that does anything to support not Sharia law, not these radical ideas, isn't human, right? They're infidels, so they can do anything they want to them. This is, God, what month is this? This is early 2006. We are going to what we thought was a VBIED target, and I think Al Oliveira was like the point guy. And we do a call out initially. So you set up like an L-shaped ambush on the outside of the house. And this was early tactics for 2006, 2005, 2006. Not a lot of, only special operations units were still, combat arms were still doing hard knocks, and there's no immediate dynamic entries. We're doing as deliberate as we possibly can after some houses get blown up and there's booby traps and bombs. So we're trying to do call outs, and we're doing a call out of a target. And when we finally go to assault and clear the building, as we come in through the front door and you find a couple of kids that had been raped and murdered, your brain doesn't process it. You can't, not that you're planning what you're going to see, but the last thing you plan on seeing is, dead kids in a corner. And I have a really good memory, and I journaled the whole entire time that I was deployed and all my deployments. And I'll go back and I'll read some of these journals, and there's things I literally don't remember, but it's written down. Like I came back and I sat there with a pencil in one of my green notebooks, and I wrote for hours everything that I experienced. My GRG is in there, like the target package is in there, everything's in there. And I'm like, no way this happened. I don't remember this. And I'll go and I'll ask teammates that were there at that same time, and they're like, dude, I barely remember that. The way the brain works, like the fog of war, and then
compartmentalization.
The trauma. Like I deny myself that like I saw some of the things that I saw.